والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Honorable ulama, Huffaz, Hujjaj, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, our viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. كيف حالكم؟ Alhamdulillah. My beloved brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah, in our fiqh, last week we started the section of the shurut of Surah Fatiha, the conditions of Surah Fatiha. We said that this is a really, really important section because our Surah Fatiha is a requirement of the Salah, and for the Surah Fatiha to be valid, there are also conditions that need to be met. So last week, Alhamdulillah, we started and we mentioned the first 5 shurut. We mentioned that there must be, of course, the tartib, the sequence in which we recite the ayat. There must be continuity. You cannot break up your Surah Fatiha. We also said that you must perfect the pronunciation of the letters, the huruf of your Surah Fatiha. And then number 4, we said there must be mura'atu tashdidatiha, that the tashdeeds of Surah Fatiha must be in place. And this is a very important criterion. And then number 5, not to pause for a long or a short while with a niyyah that you're going to terminate the surah. You're going to end your recitation. If that niyyah occurs, the surah is then of course invalidated, it's incomplete, and that rak'ah, that salah then of course is incomplete. So tonight, very briefly, I'm just going to take the 4th condition, which we mentioned last week, that you must perfect the tashdeeds. Now, this is very important, my dear brother and sister. As we go through Surah Fatiha, I'm going to go through it tonight, inshallah, because a shart, a condition of the validity of the surah is that you pronounce the 14 tashdeeds of Surah Fatiha. If you miss a tashdeed of your Surah Fatiha, you then lose the validity of your Surah Fatiha. So inshallah, as we go through the surah, I want you, inshallah, it's on the screens and I think it is on the stream as well. I've highlighted the 14 tashdeeds of Surah Fatiha. Now we must be very careful, especially if we are perhaps performing our Sunnah Salah, and you read sometimes in the Sunnah Salah, if there's a little time, you might speed up your recitation. We might do it. May Allah protect us. But especially with Surah Fatiha, you need to meet the 14 tashdeeds. Now, mashallah, I think all of us, alhamdulillah, many of us are educated in reciting Quran. If not yet, may Allah permit us to learn the Quran, inshallah. So as we go through the 14, and again, I just want us to be cautious here. A tashdeed in the laws of recitation of Quran, in tajweed, doubles the pronunciation of the letter. MashaAllah, Huffaz here, maybe I'm going to call you up to recite for the Jama'ah, inshallah. You are schooled in the sciences of tajweed, mashallah. So, the tashdeed doubles the letter. Now, by me emphasizing, as the Shaykh had written, that the tashdeed must be in your Surah Fatiha 14 times, please don't recite after tonight tripling the letter because you don't want to lose it. So when there's a tashdeed, the letter doubles. When you speed up, you can forget to pronounce it. So inshallah, we will go slowly through the surah. We have Hafiz Ubaidullah with us. And I know, mashallah, and I'm calling on you, Hafiz, because 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago that you taught Surah Fatiha in Ramadan to a group. Am I correct? Was it 2 or 3 years ago, mashallah? In Ramadan, I know Hafiz was teaching a group. I think it was on a Sunday, and he was helping the Jama'ah perfect the Surah Fatiha. And I got beautiful feedback from that group that they appreciated it. Just to spend time perfecting the pronunciation of this important surah. So, as we go through it, inshallah, we identify the 14 tashdeeds. The Shaykh had written that you must have your 14 in your Surah Fatiha. So we will go slowly through it, inshallah. In the first ayah of Surah Fatiha, there are 3. Now, of course, we double the letter. I will pause slightly, not as a style of recitation, but to identify the tashdeed. Okay? Bismillah. Right? That's the first one. In the name of Allah, Bismillah ar-Rahman. Ar, rah. The letter doubles. And the ra is often quite tricky because the scholars of qira'at, they say you must be careful. La tukarrir ra. Do not make it ar. And of course, the tongue rolls when you try and double the letter. So this is important. It should be ar and ra to double the letter. That's the second tashdid. Then ar-rahim, the third tashdid. Alhamdu lillah, fourth tashdid. Rabbi, Rabbi, fifth. Rabbil alameen. And then we come to the next. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Right? 5, 6, 7. Maliki yawmiddin. Now, importantly, sometimes we are reciting and in this ayah a mistake is often made. They say Maliki yawmiddin. So importantly, after tonight's lesson, when you are reciting, open the Quran or the Mus'haf and read your Surah Fatiha by looking at it. So you're reading your normal recitation and then look at the Quran and see, am I pronouncing this tashdid? Because it is a shart of the surah. Maliki yawmiddin. Middin. The dal must double. Iyaka. Iyaka. Not iyaka. Right? If you say iyaka, there is no tashdid. And so, especially also the younger children, iyaka. Na'budu wa iyaka. There is a tashdid on that ya. Nasta'in. Ihdina sirat. There is a tashdid on the sad. Al-mustaqim. Sirat al-ladina. There is another one on the lam. An'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim. And here, a tricky one, but a beautiful one also. Right? Mashallah, I can hear people practicing. Beautiful, mashallah. Walad. Now you must get this because there is a mad. So you have to keep your mad. And mashallah, especially when the imams are standing in front and they're reading salah, listen to them pronounce, enunciate, pronounce these letters because there are two tashdeeds here and you can't stretch the mad and forget to pronounce the tashdid. So it would be waladhalin, right? There is a tashdid on the dad and a tashdid on the lam. But if you say waladhalin, which is what many people might do in error, you have missed the last tashdid of Surah Fatiha. And so the Shaykh says, you must meet the 14 tashdeeds of Surah Fatiha for your Surah Fatiha to be valid, inshallah. I think, Hafidh Ubaidullah, I'm announcing it now, maybe you can do a repeat of that beautiful program you had, inshallah, where you sat with the males and you went through the recitation. It was a beautiful program, and it's good. That was the tradition of our imams and khulafa, the khalifas before, the bacha jama'as. They would recite to the khalifa in various homes. So it's good to, of course, make tatbiq and tatqeen to secure your pronunciation of Surah Fatiha. So we close this evening with our fiqh lesson that the 14 tashdeeds should be pronounced and perfected, and this is a condition of your Surah Fatiha. Wa sallallahu wa sallam alayhi, walhamdulillah.